Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Office Hours. I'm just getting started right now. And this is just a quick time for me to just offer to the world where you guys can ask me any questions that you have on the SAT reading or writing, or on just general reading and writing slash English slash academic concerns that you have. I'm happy to field any questions that you have. Seems like we might have somebody here, but I can't really tell. So if you are here, just say hi and let me know you're there. And I'm just gonna paste this real quick into chat so people know that I'm here. Okay, so with that set up, let's look at where are we? Thinking of doing something real quick. Okay, it looks like we're good now. So, all right, so I'm just gonna. All right, it's the morning for me. I'm just gonna get my brain going. I'm gonna work on. Let's start with the books that I'm reading and some thoughts that I have about books. So I finished Lolita, which was actually quite amazing. And I uh, very lot of complicated feelings from that book. It's like, yeah, not gonna try to summarize it because I don't really have a prepared script, and it's really hard to talk about that book. But a lot of complicated feelings, and at the very end, you just like you feel like a lot of feelings, which is very strange. Not what I was expecting, because it was kind of there were moments where I felt like with Lolita, dude, it's like, why am I reading about this pedophile, right? So so that was a very interesting experience. I probably I probably will reread Lolita at some point in my life. Um, and then now I'm moving on to reading Huckleberry Finn, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. So that's just going on right now. Actually, I didn't even write that here. So let's move that. Uh, the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, which is it's been a long time since I've read this, but it's sort of a classic of American fiction, and it's sort of just lightweight fun, especially after something like Lolita. So, uh, Mark Twain, good to just the, he he kind of did his research, I guess, into certain regions and certain characters in America, and it's the kind of research that I feel like doesn't really come through a lot. Yeah, it just feels like he cares about these different people from around the world, around America, and it's good to read something like Huck Finn, even though it's such a simple story, uh, and there's no modernist complication around it. It's good to just get connected to good old Americans. So that's what I'm doing right now with Huck Finn. Besides that, did I watch anything for movies? I'm trying to think. For in this past week, movies wise, don't think I watched anything actually. Uh, I've been watching a Netflix series called Chaos, but it's Chaos. Um, uh, Kaos, and it's basically a reinterpretation. It's like a modern interpretation of like the Orpheus and Eurydice story, and I'm actually pretty bad with Greek mythology, so it's nice to just kind of walk through it in movie format. So Chaos is actually quite. I want to say it's like an amazing show so far. I've watched 3 episodes, but it's fun to watch for sure. So Chaos, if you need to kill some time, that's also a pretty good show. I could shout out. Synthetic, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. By the way, guys, I'm just gonna right now. I'm just sort of walking through what I've been reading and watching last week, and I'm just sort of getting my brain up to speed because I woke up not that long ago. All right, so that's me with the book club, and the one thing that I want to say about this is I am considering a potential like club, like a revive of the book club from last year. It's just that like with my schedule, it's just hard for me to do something throughout the year. It's like so it gets very start and stoppy. That's my main problem. So I want to do something like book club, and I'm even thinking just why not have you guys read Huck Finn with me, uh, but it's just that I have to find some format where streaming it and organizing it doesn't require too much out of me, even when I'm busy, so that I can still commit to it even when I get busy. That's like the main issue. So this is an idea that I got from my girlfriend, not from talking, just from what she does. She does like this book club where they where people gather and then they just read some some books out loud. And yeah, we did do that. Yeah. Um, yeah, synthetic. Yeah, you were there. Yeah, damn, it's been a while. uh, well, so I'm thinking maybe we could pick books. Like I could pick one book and then we could actually meet every week or something, and theoretically, we could read out loud the book together. This is something we do, in American in schools. You do this as well. Reading out loud together. You go around in a circle, just reading out loud. And I think that could be a good experience. And then maybe have like a reading schedule where everyone has to read a certain amount. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I need to think about this because I want to revive the book club idea, but it's just I'm not too sure how to make it realistic so that I can keep it up and keep it going without me just like bombing out as soon as summer hits or something like that. That's the main issue. All right, so that's my initial update on that. Um, Let me just quickly do Wordle right now because I can tell my brain's still struggling to wake. So I'm gonna use this to wake up. But if you are here, just and you have questions about anything, just let me know what you have. Don't be shy. Um, and I'll what? Okay, don't tell me. Well, if you got it in one, it's probably not spray, but I'm just not gonna rethink. Okay, nice. Um, Gre- Congratulations, though. B is not very common. So, all right, right. Hmm. I mean, I want a... Oh, no, the R can't be there. Oh, okay. Hater. Ho Tomer, Tober, Toker, Topher, Toder, Toder, Doder. I guess... Uh... The E could be here. Oh, dude, there's so many options here. Okay, I'm gonna go with the weird one. Lemur. Let's go with lemur. All right. So now I'm very sure that it's a O-E-R, and now I have to put a T somewhere. So meter doesn't work, Kaz, because of the... Maybe you typed that just before I did this, but yeah, you can't have the E here. So no E's are allowed here. T works here, right? And T works here. So you could theoretically have the E at the very beginning. Like you could have E. Oh, yeah. But that's a really hard word for me to imagine. Like, but it's not impossible. It's just I just can't think of a word right now. So I'm gonna try with a T somewhere. So toner. Toner's a word. Toner is a word. Voter is a word. Voter is a word. Doter is technically a word, but probably shouldn't be the right word. Hoder. All right, I'm gonna go with toner, but voter. Jesus. Okay. Oh, I didn't even see this. Oh, I just assumed that the O was right there. I made a Oh no. Well, outer. Oh no. This is such a wasted. This is such a wasted turn. Oh my god. Okay. I can't. It's if it's not outer, then it's. Wait, what? Otter, dude. Seriously, synthetic. Your first guess was otter. That is so funny. Well, that's very annoying because voter. I really did not need to type voter in, but I just sort of rushed. Very annoying. My skill is still 74 because I think the other choices were okay. Spray and write were okay. Lemur was apparently not very good, and then toner was good, but then this is gonna be but only 48. That's interesting. So bad, so stupid. Okay. Well, let me just share that. Oh, because you're in the States. You're in the States. Wordle is, I mean, Wordle's not easy. By the way, guys, right now I'm sort of just chilling, but if you have questions, please feel free to ask those questions, and I'll talk about that. I'm just sort of killing the time right now. All right, let's get jam and syrup and beans and milk and hot sauce and... It's kind of awkward. I don't know how to freeze and ferment and grind and grate. Wait, what? Wait, freeze, ferment, grind, and grate. I was thinking maybe what you do to like coffee beans, but I don't think that's... You can grind it. You can freeze it. You can grate it. Cheese. For cheese, you ferment the milk to get yogurt. You grate the cheese. You freeze the cheese. Milk. What? This is messing me up. Okay. It expands your knowledge. Yes. Butter, syrup, jam. All three of these go for breakfast. And milk. I'm going to go for the breakfast concept. Just hopefully this gets... Oh my God. I'm one off. Tea? Should one rely on intuition in the SAT questions? Short answer is depends on what you mean, but basically the short answer is no. Okay, yeah, but it really depends on what you mean. But what I mean when I say no is when you're choosing between A and B and C and D, and if you're managing your time well, so you're not rushing, then you should always look for evidence for your answers. Okay? You shouldn't just make it up from feels, from what you think could be right based on what you remember from the passage. Okay? You actually need to match up actual evidence for your answer choices. Now, that is what I mean by saying no to do not rely, as in do not rely on intuition, but do you mean intuition some other way? If you mean intuition some other way, then maybe the answer is yes, because it depends on what you mean. Okay, so this was wrong, and there was one that was missing. Now, I'm trying to think. I'm like, is this some sort of like weird British thing where we like, is it the beans thing? Should I add beans? Jam, butter, beans? It's gonna be so annoying. But there's nothing else that's kind of breakfasty, right? I'm gonna just try it. Oh my God, that's annoying. Okay, so syrup is part of it, but milk is... All right, I'm gonna go with this. These are like condiments. Oh my God, it's pissing me off. All right, well, I forgot that hot sauce is an actual breakfast condiment in America because we use Cholula because American food can be... American food has the handicap of always... You can always fall back on adding hot sauce to it, and that's kind of the way American food like co-evolved with hot sauce. So I don't know. I don't think that's a good thing, but it's also amazing. But hot sauce is also amazing. So hard to take a side on this kind of thing. Well, I used up 2 mistakes just for that, but okay, I'm here now. We could scrape by. We can scrape, grate, grind, and gnash. Okay. These are kind of like abrasive, frictiony, grindy words, right? So I'm pretty sure of this. You can gnash your teeth. You can grate, grind, scrape. You can't grate your teeth. Something is grating on you. Well, I guess cheese grater, right? You have the grater. Do I know what colleges look for when transferring to a T20 or second year transfer? I think. By the way, I'm not an admissions expert, and it's kind of not my focus. I love English. I don't really love college admissions statistics and how to be better positioned to get into a school when you're like an Asian American rich kid. Like, whoa, dude, that's not my interest. Even though it makes a lot of money. So just with that disclaimer out of the way, the fact that I'm not, as long as you know that I'm not an admission specialist, just listen to me as just one other source. There's other sources out in the world, but you can listen. This is just my take on it. Okay. Um, the most important thing is your college GPA. I mean, you gotta prove that you are killing it, especially if you're trying to transfer from like a less competitive school to a more competitive school. You have to prove that you're sort of killing it at school. Like you're really, you can't, like, no school is going to be like, oh, you're depressed at your school. Oh, you hate your school. Oh, you're struggling socially at your school. Well, welcome to our school where it's harder. No school is gonna be like that, right? You have to prove that you're like so on top of it. You're on the ball, and your talent is being wasted. And just like, oh, you can definitely come over here and like learn more and get more access to more resources, to more professors, to more um, organizations, and make really good use of our time. And then cynically speaking, you're not going to harm our statistics. You're not going to make our like graduation rate go down. You're not going to make, cynically speaking, you're going to help with the average income 5 years after graduation. Like you're going to make something of that experience. So that's the general framework you want to have in your head. You want to think about like it with sports, like, if you're kind of like if you're like a star in like a lower level team, then the other teams will want to recruit you to their team because you're already killing it at this lower level team, right? So similar situation, you're kind of at a lower level team, you want to upgrade to a bigger team, you want to get recruited into a bigger team, then just like show your talent, show your skill. And the first step always is GPA. Okay, GPA is always the first step. Start there, have really good grades, but then also, you know, like office hours. What does the term office hours even mean? What does this stream? Where does the name of this stream come from? It comes from American university professors who open up like one or two, a couple hours every week for their students to show up and ask them questions. Well, you should go to those office hours and talk to the professors and get close to them. Well, not necessarily get close to them, but like, don't show up just to show up. By the way, and like you don't want to just spam your presence at them. That could actually be unpleasant, kind of backfire. But like, if you genuinely enjoy a class and also you're struggling with it, or you're struggling with it, like, but you want to get better at it, like, you should go and make use of that time to show your seriousness, your commitment, to actually get some help. So make use of those opportunities as well. Besides that, there's obviously student organizations and anything that you did for college admissions in the first place. Just, if you have like a lively extracurricular life, that also helps. You wonder if online courses would replace university at all? I don't see that happening anytime soon. But it would. It would. I don't know. I mean, I think university education needs to change too, because of especially ChatGPT. I think that's changing the way that classes should. I think the shape of classes and like what's being required in classes might have to change with ChatGPT and whatnot, because just lecturing and then asking you to write, the problem with that is that we can't really validate whether you're writing anything. So that's kind of messing things up with college. But I don't see online courses replacing university as a whole. Although I do see some people, some motivated and self-reliant people, replacing their university experiences with online courses and whatnot. I can see that happening, but I don't see it happening from the institution standpoint. The universities might lose some students, which is fine. Right now, I think there's too many people at the university anyway. Some people should just study their comp sci, their electrical engineering, just their whatever. They should just go straight into their job. It's fine. You don't need everyone to get a liberal arts education. Unless your definition of democracy is something wholly unrealistic. But anyway, that's a whole debate we can have some other time. Synthetic wiener. What if you donated $1 million? I mean, just to answer the question, that may help or that may not help. It depends on the school. Not every school wants your money. Some schools do want your money though. So if you have $1 million and you can find a school that wants your money, then yeah. But it's not just money, right? You need to be the right person. You need to have the right connection. You can't just be some rando. So yeah, to be totally serious about your probably not very serious question, depends on the school. But if you think the Ivy Leagues are going to just take your money, they're already rich. They're not that easily bought out. So it doesn't really, it's not going to help you with like the Ivy Leagues. If you tried to reach Nietzsche and you didn't understand a single word, I mean, you probably understood a single word. So the thing is that when it comes to comprehending difficult books, the first thing is to not choose a book that's way too hard. You need to get a book that's kind of at least in your range, and you need to do something that I sometimes mention in my streams, which is like threading words. In fact, in a weird way, I'm actually threading words right now. This is not a passage. This is just a word game, but try not like weirdly. I never thought about this, but connections is kind of like a gamified version of what you're doing when you're reading a hard passage. You know, especially when you have like a sentence up here and a sentence down here, and then another sentence down here, and then you have this word like heterogeneous, and then at this word you have uniform, and then at this one you have at this third sentence you have like evenly distributed. Okay, evenly distributed. Then you have heterogeneous, uniform, evenly distributed, and none of those are direct synonyms. Oh, I guess evenly distributed and heterogeneous and uniform might be. No, actually, they're not direct synonyms. None of these are direct synonyms, and they're although you can sense the antonym relationship. But when you're reading you're actually a lot of times it's not just reading; it's a specific sentence that you're messed up on. There's a specific sentence that you mess up on, and then as long as you stop right there and you try to figure out what's going on, you're fine. But what happens is that people, when they're stuck on a sentence, they're like, well, I don't understand it now, but I'm going to move forward, right? But then when they move forward, they forget what this sentence was even talking about. And so then the next sentence gets even more confusing, and then the next sentence gets even more confusing, and then at that point, your eyes just sort of roll back into your head, and you're like, oh my God, I don't understand anything, right? But it all began, the thing that everyone forgets is it all begins with a single sentence. There's a specific sentence where the confusion begins, and you got to find that, and you need to like actually parse that, you know? Reading is, and you can't get better at it by just being like, well, I'm going to speed read and then just skim words. No, that's not going to improve your reading, okay? The way you get better is by actually doing the hard work of connecting the ideas in that sentence to ideas before that sentence, and then later on to the ideas after that sentence. You need to actually do that. That is what the reading is. The act of reading is that. So if you could keep doing that, then you can build up to harder and harder texts to like Nietzsche, and you can it'll become fairly natural, you know. It's not crazy. I mean, let's thus spake their first chapter. This is by. All right, this is the foreword. I'm going to skip that. When Zarathustra was 30 years old. He left his. Oh, it's actually, I forgot. This one's this one's written easily. Oh, dude, actually, it's crazy. I've never read this. Ah, maybe I should read this, dudes. Uh, Interesting. Maybe I should read that. Wait, so what's let me think of what's like the other works that I just can't think of right now. Oh, Genealogy of Morality. There we go. On the Genealogy of Morality. Okay, by the way, I do need to go. So if you guys have any other questions, just ask me. Because I'm gonna move over to the members only stream very soon. By the way, these introductions really help for philosophy. Just helps you get a sense. And for philosophy, I would strongly recommend watching like YouTube videos to help you kind of at least get the ideas out. We are unknown to ourselves, we knowers, and with good reason. We have never looked for ourselves, so how are we ever supposed to find ourselves? How right is the saying, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Our treasure is where the hives of our knowledge are. As born winged insects and intellectual honey gatherers, we're constantly making for them. Okay, so this part can be a little hard. In fact, it is a little hard for me, but I got it right now. So for example, this sentence right here, as born winged insects and intellectual honey gatherers, we are constantly making for them. Concerned at heart with only one thing, to bring something home. What is this, right? What the hell is this sentence even saying, right? A lot of you guys would be like, okay, and then just move on. And actually, because this is sort of just a rhetorical flourish, if you move on, it's fine. You're not going to feel the cost of it. But if you keep doing that over and over and over, you will start losing the plot, okay? Your eyes will crawl into your brain, and you're going to start not knowing what the hell this passage is talking about. So let's try this again. We are unknown to ourselves, we knowers. We don't know ourselves because we've never looked for ourselves. So how can we find ourselves? Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. If you care about looking for yourself, okay, that's heart, then you will find yourself. That's your treasure. Our treasure is where the hives of our knowledge are. Okay, the knowledge of ourselves plus the knowledge of the world, I guess. As born insects, these are bees, as honey gathering bee intellectuals, we are constantly making for our hives. We are making honey for our hives. We are constantly making for hives. Wait, what's them? Yeah, making for the hives of our knowledge. Okay, that kind of tripped me up when I tried to say it because it doesn't sound supernatural when you say that. It doesn't sound very natural, but when this them is referring to the hives. But notice what I'm doing. I'm just connecting these words together to figure out, oh, I'm a bee. And we are making for them, so this has to be the hives, right? So basically, we are born as like little bees, and we are approaching the hives of our knowledge. We're kind of orienting our entire existence around the hives of our knowledge, okay? And we're trying to find this knowledge, this treasure, this self. We're trying to find it, but we can't do it if we don't even look, okay? And so this is just me reverse constructing it backwards from bottom to top because you just need to be able to make those connections, all right? And that's what reading is. If you don't read that, if you don't do that connection, if you just like, no, I'm gonna use these stupid, I'm gonna use these speed reading suggestions where there's like a tick tock, and I'm gonna force myself to move to the next line. Dude, you are not reading. You're not getting better, get any better at this. Okay. Actually make connections. That's hard. It's hard. It's supposed to be hard. Okay, but you will get smarter when you do it. Okay, you don't get better when you do only easy things, and you don't get smarter when you only do easy things. Okay, you do that work, and you do this. Well, I just showed it to you one time, right? But if you do it like 5 times a day, and you do it like every day of your life, of the year, right? That's a lot of prep. That's like 1,800 times that you're processing like a really hard, like a hard sentence, right? You are going to get better. You're going to get better at reading. So don't shy away from that kind of effort. All right. So it looks like there's no other questions at the moment. So I'm going to focus here, but I'm going to just finish this off and then move on over to the members only stream. If this stream has been helpful for you though, please hit the like button. Let people know that my streams are good. Yeah. And that, maybe other people should watch my streams and come in on my streams. If you want more streams like this, by the way, you can also subscribe. And if you can't support me as a member, but you still want to stay in touch with me when I move over to the members only stream, you can still chat with me through the Discord server and the link is in the description below. Let me just try to finish this off and see how far I get. Wanna be a wannabe? Okay, I don't really know how to respond to that, but maybe you are not a bee. Freeze, to can, to pickle, and to ferment. These are things that you can do to food to make it last longer is what I was trying to say. Preserve food. Okay, you can can it, you can ferment it, you can freeze it, you can pickle it. You have guts, and you have beans, and you have milk, and you have tea. Now I'm trying to figure out what. Huh. Spill the guts. Oh. Spill guts, spill the beans, spill the tea, spilt milk. This is spilling. But now that I look at it, I'm not 100% sure of the meanings of all that. So let me. Spill milk. Something that has already happened, right? Forgot about that. And then spill the tea. I'm in Vietnam, so Google is defaulting to to Vietnamese. Okay. Yeah, spill the tea and spill the beans are basically the same. But spill the tea seems very British. All right, well, guys, that's it for me for this stream. I'm going to switch over to members only stream. Thanks, as always, for giving me questions to respond to. I think today's questions are pretty good. We had good questions. We had good discussions. So next week, I'll see you at the same time. And if you're not in the States, I'll see you in about 6 hours or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 hours. I'll see you guys in like 7 hours. All right. Take care, and until next time, keep on learning, keep on growing. Peace.